tribe, it is your girl Naja here, and I am back with another video. And before we even get into this video, yes, peep the shirt. The shirts are in. The shirts are in. I just shipped out the pre-orders, so anybody that pre-ordered stuff, your stuff is on the way. Each order that you make with my shop, you will get free stickers as well as a custom packaging. Here, I'll go get some of the packages because I'm going to the post office right after this video. Well, these few videos. I'm about to film like a bit of videos, but just give me a second. I'm gonna get the boxes. Really, camera? Really, bitch? Okay, so like each box that I send, you get some custom artwork on there, you know, some custom abstract, you know, and I do have some more, but here's just another one. I got like I got 5 in total, so there's 2 other about that. So I did have somebody tell me that they actually like put theirs on their wall or something like that. So if you guys want to keep the packages, or if you want just a free design from me in general, you should order something. And yeah, I customize each package. So let's just get right into the video. So this video is going to be another story time. A lot of you guys saw my last video that I posted about serving at the nightclub, and you guys were really interested in regards to my experience serving at the Indian restaurant because a lot of ratchet shit popped off at that bitch. So without further ado, I'm just gonna hop right into it. I am not going to compose all of the incidents from this job in one video, merely because my life is not that interesting, and if I run out of content, well, there goes my fucking channel. Like, all of my videos are story times that happened years ago, because like I'm very drama free right now. So yeah, this is just gonna be part 1 of the Indian restaurant saga. Alright, so as you guys know, I applied for this job and got the job right after my nightclub job experience. I started working there. It was really slow. It really wasn't that big of a deal. So I'm gonna call the dude who I was working for, I'm gonna call him Carl. Hold on, my phone's ringing. Alright, bye. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, the guy's name was Carl, and he was an Indian guy, but he was very Americanized. He had moved to the country when he was like 12. So yeah, he's very Americanized. He had bread, his family got bread, and it was basically like, it was a family-owned restaurant, so his wife worked at the restaurant with him, but she only worked in the breakfast portion because they had like a buffet during lunchtime, and then there was a dinner setting, and mainly I was serving during the dinner setting. And because the buffet was super easy. I wish they would have put me on the buffet, but whatever. First night working there, the guy told me, and I don't really care, I'm gonna say this girl's real name because I doubt she would ever find this video, and if she did, like, bitch, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The girl's name is Aisha. Aisha was also Indian. Everybody in the restaurant was like foreign. Like, the people that worked in the kitchen, they were like Guatemalan and all this shit, like, or Mexican or whatever, and none of them were legal citizens at all, okay? And I low-key think that's why the restaurant closed, because the restaurant is closed now. But literally, like, I was the only documented legal citizen working in that facility other than Carl and his wife. So everybody in there was kind of like obliged to do whatever the fuck Carl said, and Carl was an asshole. Like, Carl would just be an asshole to everybody because he knew at the end of the day nobody was gonna hire them because they didn't have any papers, they didn't have a green card. So he was a dick to them. So Aisha was also one of those people. She got into the country by marriage, so she was the person who trained me. Now, this bitch Aisha was my trainer. She was a server, she was my trainer. Mind you, my only serving experience was that club shit, and I was only there for a few days. So technically, I count this as my first serving experience. Carl was just like, yeah,
just listen to everything that Aisha says. She's gonna walk you through it. You'll be fine.
I'm like, okay, cool. Aisha, I noticed she was doing weird little shit. Like, every time we got a table, she would take the tip money off the table, put like $1 in the register, and then put like another $1 in her little server apron thing. And I was just like, why are you doing that? And she was like, because they want us to put all of our tips into the register, and then they count up our tips at the end of the week, and then we get a check. So it was kind of like we got paid 1 week in tips, and then we got paid another week for like a 2-week check, which is stupid as fuck, because I'm pretty sure they was fucking with our tip. Like, I remember I even had to start counting my tips because I didn't trust them, but that's a whole different story. Like, and I was working with these people for maybe like 8 months. So I'm gonna get to that shit, but this is just the beginning. So we're just gonna introduce the people and the situation. I was just like, okay, well, why are you putting one on your apron? And she's like,
because they count up our tips and they take taxes out of the tips. And
I'm like, bitch, what you know about taxes? You don't even pay taxes. So it was already weird shit going on, right? So she put it in her tip, and she told me, she was like,
when you get something, you put it in your apron.
So I was like, okay, I guess. So I'm putting it in my apron. Call me gullible, but she was supposed to have experience and been working here for a while. So I was like, well, shit, if she's doing it and nothing ain't happening to her, like, I'm gonna do it too. I put the money in my apron, whatever. That was day 1. Day 2, Carl was gone somewhere. He went to the grocery store to get some more ingredients or whatever. Aisha got a bottle of wine, and she was like,
okay, this is what we're gonna do. Get the bottle, go put it in your car, and then I'm gonna get it when we leave for work.
And I was just like, no. No, I'm not about to do that.
No, it's okay, like, we get gratuity every month, we get a bottle, and it's just my turn to get the bottle. So I picked this one and I'm gonna go put it in my car.
And I was like, well, then why aren't you doing this when Carl is here?
Oh, well, it's no biggie. He's just gonna count the bottles, see that one is gone, he'll ask me about it, and I'll just tell him what's up. Like, I'm owed a bottle for my gratuity.
And I'm just like, this, okay. So my ass, I get the bottle, I walk to my car, I put it in my car, come back to work, whatever. Sure enough, when the shift was over, her husband or whoever pulled up, and she got the bottle out of my car, and then she got in her car and dipped. Day 3, this is when I realized, okay, this bitch is crooked. This bitch is crooked and nasty, fucking nasty. Day 3, I was bringing out food. I was getting the hang of the restaurant. Sure, the foods were foreign, so I had to study the menu a lot, but I was getting the flow of the restaurant. It was way more laid back than that club shit. Like, I was actually doing a pretty good job, and I know it was only day 3, but I was doing a pretty good job. And I was bringing out like a sizzler tray. You know those trays where like they put like the olive oil on it and it's steaming and you got meat on it? So I'm walking with the sizzler tray. Aisha's like, no,
wait. So
I stopped because it's hot and I'm scared of doing something wrong. This bitch takes a piece of chicken off the tray, pops it in her mouth, and starts giggling.
Bruh.
And I'm looking at her like, bitch, did you really just eat off these people's food? Like, if that was my plate and I knew that the server had eaten something off my plate, oh, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. And this may be nasty, but I have seen some, I haven't done it just because I think it's gross, but I have seen some servers, like the customer's like, oh, I don't want this, and they take it back. I have seen some servers pick off the plate, but never in my life, since that day, have I ever seen a server straight up take food off of somebody's plate. Where do they do that at? Obviously here. Like, what the fuck? When I realized, okay, something's crooked about her, like something ain't right. I kind of like kept my distance from her. They did have another server, and she was a Vietnamese girl, also wasn't on paper. She was a Vietnamese girl, and she was really cool. She was older than me. I think she was about like 5 years older than me, maybe even more than that, maybe like 5 to 7 years older than me, because at the time I was 18 and she was like 24, 25. So yeah, so she was still young but older than me. And she just told me, she was like, watch out for her, like don't get cool with her, like don't do it, she's no good, like they're gonna catch on to her eventually. And that's when I was like, okay, let me back the fuck up. So all of the dudes that worked in the kitchens were alcoholics, especially this one dude. I'm gonna name him Rican. Rican was an alcoholic. I'm talking, he came to work sweating fucking Bud Light, okay? So what Aisha would do is she would steal the beers and go in the kitchen and slip it to Rican. And Rican would be drunk as fuck back there, boy. Like, he would be drunk as fuck. And Carl would even catch him. Carl would be like,
have you been drinking?
Enrique's like,
no, I haven't been drinking. What you mean? I haven't been drinking. What you mean?
And he's just
like, bro, like, chill out. I just asked you if you were drinking. Like, you're obviously drunk because you're sweating into the fucking food.
That's when I was just like, okay, yeah, this bitch is crooked. This bitch is crooked. So one day I came in. Mind you, this is the first week that I've been working there. So this is like the last day of my work week. And I noticed Carl's wife was there. And I'm like, why is Carl's wife here when it's a dinner shift? She's only here during breakfast. So I get there first. Oh, and I forgot to add, this bitch had me drop her off at home once. And I dropped her off at home. And she was just like,
oh, can this be like an everyday thing?
And I'm like, I'm sorry, but no, it can't be. Like, the fuck? Like, no. Whatever. So I noticed that Carl's wife is there. And the Vietnamese girl is there. And I'm gonna call the Vietnamese girl, I'm gonna call her Leslie. So Leslie's there, Carl's there, Carl's wife is there, and I walk through the door and they all just stare at me. And I'm like, oh fuck, what's going on? Carl was like, Naja. That's how he fucking would call my name.
Naja, come here.
And I'm like, oh fuck.
So, have you been taking tips?
What? He was like,
the register is short and I've been watching my cameras and I've been seeing you pocket the tips.
oh, well, I just thought I'm lying like fuck, because at this point I knew what I did was wrong, but I'm lying like fuck. I'm just like, well, that's how I was trained. Like, I thought the tips were mine.
The tips are yours, but we like to collect the tips as one and then give you a check.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
And then that bottle, I saw you run to your car with a bottle. Was that my bottle?
No, that was Aisha's bottle.
And why would you think that?
Because Aisha told me that you guys give us gratuity every month and that you would know about the bottle, which wasn't a lie. And he was just like,
oh, all right, so I see what she's doing. I see what she's doing. She's trying to have other people do the dirty work for her so she won't get caught up. I see what she's doing. If you do this again, I will fire you. But because I reviewed my security footage and I actively see her ass doing shit like this, I'm not gonna penalize you, but just step light, basically.
And I was like, all right, nigga, I don't want your shit anyway. Then Aisha comes in. And I'm not even making eye contact with the bitch. I'm just doing stuff. I'm over here, you know. And then Leslie is just like, Carl was like,
don't even walk through this door because you're fired.
And she just stopped walking. She was like,
what? I'm fired?
Yeah, you're fired. You don't steal from us. You don't steal from us. Like,
damn, I could have straightened this better. Like, damn, this is so wavy.
Oh, you don't steal from us and then smile in my face. Get the fuck out.
Cursing at me?
I'm fucking cursing at you, bitch. Get the fuck out.
I was like, oh, fuck. This nigga hood. Like, what's going on here? She got fired and she walked out. And I thought that was it. Tell me why I get a call 2 days later from a number that I don't have saved. I pick it up, it's Aisha. Aisha was like,
hey, I just want to let you know that I got a new job and it's really nice over here. You should come and work over here.
and I just said it as polite as I could. I was like, look, I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I was your coworker, and you really tried the fuck out of me by training me incorrectly. I almost lost a job. I'm in college. I don't got no money. Like, why are you calling me? She's like,
oh, it was no hard feelings, right?
and I'm like, because she doesn't really understand like American sayings. So she was like, it was no hard feelings. And I'm just like, what? Obviously I have hard feelings because I just told you I don't fuck with you. I'm not your friend, bitch. Yeah, that was that. I never saw Aisha again. And then Carl is so fucking petty. He would just do things like be like, oh yeah, I saw Aisha at that other Indian restaurant down the street and their food tastes like shit. And I just be like, bro, like, leave her alone. Leave her alone. And he was even so petty because where I live in Jacksonville, it's like mini India. Like, there's a whole bunch of Indian restaurants, Indian grocery stores and stuff like that. So everybody that owns restaurants are in contact. So he contacted the owner of the Indian restaurant that Aisha worked at and told her, like, look, she steals. She gonna steal all your shit. And she just kept hopping from place to place to place because my manager went out of his way to sabotage her every fucking time with his petty ass. That was my experience when I got trained to steal at my job at the Indian restaurant. Make sure that you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If your notifications are fucking up, follow me on Twitter. And And yeah, that's about it. Stay tuned for another video of me looking exactly the same. Yeah.